Now to Nailah Amaru. She's a policy strategist for the Democrat Party and joins us now from New York. Nailah, Trump, he's claimed victory as president. What's the feeling inside the Democrat camp at the moment?
Disappointment. There will certainly be much opportunity tomorrow and the days following for the Democratic Party to reassess where we went wrong and hopefully learn from those lessons so that when the next election comes around, that we will be able to address where we fell short in this campaign to reclaim the presidency.
We're hearing that Kamala Harris didn't outperform Joe Biden in 2020 in any county. Was she the right choice to take on Trump in 2024?
Well, there's layers to this, right? So when Joe Biden made the decision not to run for re-election and Kamala Harris was catapulted to the top of the ticket given her role as vice president, her main challenge was to make sure that she would be able to maintain the electoral coalition that Biden had patched together, which is what essentially led to Trump's defeat in 2020. Clearly, that electoral coalition did not hold. And there'll be a lot of analysis as to why that is. I think primarily it comes down to issues with engagement with key demographics. There was an uphill battle for Harris to really connect with younger male voters in particular, which overwhelmingly came out in support for Trump. And there's also, in terms of campaign strategy and execution, clearly we had to turn out our voters and we fell short in the swing states that we needed to maintain the blue wall. And lastly, it was always going to be a difficult tightrope for Harris to walk, given that she is a current part of the administration, but she wasn't willing to break with Biden publicly in the way that she needed to when it came to really some of the more controversial issues that would have helped solidify and mobilize voters within the Democratic Party, more on the progressive side. And so I think that there's multiple things that went wrong here. And again, in the days to come, the Democratic Party will do an assessment and figure out how we can do better and build a bench so this does not happen again.
When do you think America would be ready for a female president, be they Republican or Democratic?
That's a great question. I think the underlying current is Kamala is a woman and she is a Black and Asian woman. And so that is a different type of candidate than Biden is, right? Or Biden was back in 2020 as an older, white male. And those racial identities have implications clearly in where the strength of a candidate lies when it comes to the voter turnout, when it comes to race, when it comes to gender, when it comes to ideology. I hope that eventually the Democratic Party or the Republican Party truly is inclusive. And we do have some representation of women in the White House. If it wasn't Hillary and if it wasn't Kamala, I'm not quite sure who that next candidate could be. But I think this goes back to some of the self-assessment within the Democratic Party of building a bench that is more reflective of who we are as Americans in this year.
Nailah, really appreciate you staying up until 4 a.m. in the morning in New York to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.